Hi everyone, so I've been thinking about doing this video about the upcoming New Year 2017 for a little while now, and I've been excited to do it, so here I am doing it, yay. There's a few different things I wanted to talk about in relation to it, and not just, New Year's Day and 2017, but also 2016 a little bit, where we're coming from, and the time frame around New Year's 2017 and what that might mean. So I think this is a very special New Year's. In a way, I think it's 9 times the new of other New Year's, and I'm going to explain why in just a minute. I know this is a little bit sloppy. Hopefully it'll serve its purpose. The first time I'm getting to use my whiteboard, and I'm not quite angled the way I'd like to be, but okay, here we go. So in numerology, 2016 was a 9 universal year, and that is because when you break down 2016 by adding the numbers together, it equals 9. 2 plus 0 is 2, plus 1 is 3, 3 plus 6 equals 9. 2017 is going to be a 1 universal year. That's because 2 plus 0 equals 2, 2 plus 1 equals 3, 3 plus 7 equals 10, and 1 plus 0 in the 10 equals 1. So, on the board I have some keywords associated with each of those numbers according to numerology. So I want to take a look at that. Let's start with where we're coming from and look at 9. 9 is over here. Okay, so 9. 9 is the end of a cycle. It's a rather busy energy, in my opinion. A little bit scattered and all over the place. But 9 has some positive qualities to it as well. So get this in there. Alright, we'll just start over here. 9 is associated with being a giver, artistic talents, completion, end of a cycle. It can be scattered, imaginative expression is associated with 9, humanitarian is associated with 9, irritable is associated with 9. So those are just some keywords. But, I'd like to know, does that make sense to you when you're thinking back on this past year? Because that is the vibrational frequency of the number 9 and of the year 2016. It was, in Chinese astrology, year of the monkey, and the monkey is in all over the place energy. Some of the advice that I received with 2016 was not to get too attached to any situation or idea because things were going to be changing pretty frequently, and I did experience a good deal of that. So now, looking over at 1, the number 1 in numerology also has some keywords. It's associated with bravery. It's a starter or an originator. It's the beginning of a new cycle. Revolutionary, drive, individual, independent, leadership. Can be hasty. Where is this? Hasty. Also progressive, focused. So those are some keywords associated with the number 1 in numerology. So I'm excited. I'm thinking that this may be a good year for people who are independent or focused on independent endeavors, such as being business owners or entrepreneurs, starting their own, who just have an independent spirit, who are leaders. For those of us wanting to make revolutionary change in the world and have things move in a good direction, I think it'll help us be more focused and a good year to start things. So I'm excited about that. I want to talk a little bit more, but I'm going to use my whiteboard. So I'm going to cut the video off now and come back in a moment. Okay, I changed my mind about using that whiteboard. Just going to dive in from here. So I mentioned that most of 2016 was a monkey year. 2017 is primarily going to be a rooster year. Now there's elements associated with those, and I haven't looked up the element for rooster yet, but some of the keywords associated with rooster are observant, hardworking, courageous, confident, talented, honest, and frank. So that, I feel, is going to be very good news for some of us. The year may demand those things from us more, but those of us who are already possessing those of us who are already talented or courageous or hardworking, I feel that it's going to assist us in our goals, our pursuits, our life. So that's very exciting. Alright, so another thing that I think is really exciting and interesting is that Mercury is going to be in retrograde during New Year, the Gregorian calendar New Year, not to be confused with the lunar New Year. So Mercury retrograde, just briefly for those of you who don't know, because I don't want to bore those of you who do know, Mercury retrograde has to do with, well, Mercury is the planet of travel, communication, and time, right? It has to do with those things. Saturn also rules time, but let's just look at that. Time, travel, and communication. So when a planet goes retrograde, it tends to go back into the past. It tends to be good for things to begin with revising, revisiting, reassessing, editing, things of that nature, revisiting, right? So there might be something a little different around our New Year's resolutions and goals in the kickstart of 2017 because of this Mercury retrograde. But I think that it's really neat and cool because of the factor of it being going from a 9 universal year to a 1 universal year and being the start of a new 9-year cycle. Like I said in the beginning of the video, to me it's looking like it may be kind of a like a 9 times new of most New Year's, right? So it's almost like we're getting this extra amount of time, this extra window to revise, rework, reassess, evaluate our past, and make decisions for the beginning of 2017. So it's really interesting to me. I think that's really neat. What's apt to happen for a lot of people is they'll start 2017 with goals and resolutions like they do every year, and then they will find throughout January that they need to be reworked in some way. Things will come up that will make them reassess their goals, reassess the projects that they're about to embark on, reassess their resolutions, reevaluate them, and there will be some shifts and changes that were unexpected. But that window is also allowing for unexpected blessings to come in and things to be better than we thought they could be, for tools to come in and help us, or people to come in and help us that we didn't anticipate being able to help us. So for those of us who make action plans, the action plans may get adjusted and reworked in a special way throughout January, and it may be very beneficial and useful to then make a revised set of resolutions and goals and plans for 2017 with the Lunar New Year, with the Chinese New Year, moving into the year of the rooster. After all that fun Mercury retrograde stuff has been experienced. Okay. So, I'm feeling pretty good about the new year. I don't know what it's going to entail, and I don't want to come on here and promise people the world by any means, but I thought that it would be fun to do a little bit of a oracle reading for everyone. I've already on my channel put out holiday season kickstart of the new year 2017 readings for everyone based on your sign's element, their fire and water, so you can check those out. I can do personal readings for people if you would like that. Just message me through my website and let me know. So this is going to be a brief reading, but something that I am happy and excited to share. So I decided to use my Soul Collage cards to pick one of those out randomly. So I asked Spirit to give me the card that was going to give me the best message to present for 2017, and I picked Lord Ganesha, which is remover of obstacles. So this is thrilling for me. I think this is wonderful, and this year may bring that about for us. It may help us to remove obstacles in our path and help us really make some leeway. You know, it's like 9 years have been, it's 9 year cycle. There was a theme of the past 9 years, and at the end of this video I'm going to share with you an exercise that I did that I found really interesting and rewarding to do, that you may wish to do as well. But you know, we've gone through all of these 9 steps, 9 stages, and we've come to an accumulation point, and now we're starting over fresh with our new wisdom, our new knowledge. So it may be things that have been blockages for years for some of us, things that we've really been struggling with, or trying to make leeway with, get through and haven't been able to be successful with. We're going to find that help and assistance and ability this year. Lord Ganesha, remover of obstacles, is coming in to free us from that old chain of events and help us start something new. Very excited about that. I'm going to show you my Soul Collage card again. It's actually just a picture. This one is, but so we have Lord Ganesha with us. And then the other decks I used were the Osho Zen Tarot and the Secret Language of Color cards. I'm going to pull one of those also. I have not yet. But the card that came up with the Osho Zen Tarot was the Creator. And this makes a lot of sense to me, looking at it as being a one universal year, right? Because 1 is the beginning, it is the start, it is when we start creating something. And when I read cards and this comes up, I often tell people that it's about coming back to basics, coming back to center, coming back to where it starts, and recognizing your power in your solar plexus, recognizing that you are the creator, and it is from that place that what you see in the outside world spurs. If you believe that everything is holographic and that what we create our own reality, and that other people are reflecting back to us like a mirror our own inner workings, then this is true, right? So this is a very powerful card. I believe this is the King of Wands, King of Fire in traditional tarot decks. And this is all about that spark, that power coming from within and being able to be empowered rather than try to have power over others or be disempowered. It's about truly being empowered in the world and creating. It's going to be about creating the life that we want. And I would like to draw one more card from this deck, as well as a color card. Intensity came up. Okay, so this is running with that energy. This is the energy of new beginnings, really. The sign of Aries is associated with this card, I feel. It is that energy of drive that is just going in that direction. So we may, be called to do this year. We may be pushed to do this. We may naturally feel this. It may just be that things really start taking off for us. So that's wonderful and interesting. And I'm just going to get my color cards out and see what came out for this. Again, I don't want anyone to take this reading too seriously because it's a general reading for an entire year. And there's a lot to it. And I feel like, getting a personal reading, or at least looking into something a little more personal like the elemental readings, will give you greater insight. I don't want anybody to understand this as Lord Ganesh is here and so all your obstacles are going to fade away. That's not necessarily going to be true, but it is a wonderful overlying energy to pull, and I'm very excited about it. Alright, so let's see what the color card is. The color card is Coral. Allow flow and synchronicity into your life. This is very cool. I'm very excited about this. It's interesting that the number adds up to 9, but it's very connected to the other 2 cards. What we see here for an energetic, other 3 cards, an energetic pattern is a release of blockages, a release of obstacles, a release of barriers that were in our path, and the initial forward movement, the flow, the intensity, unlocking that, and that power coming from within, moving out, and starting to do things, doing it. So that's really, really neat. Really like that. I'm just checking in here to see if I've forgotten anything or Spirit wants to say anything else this time. Oh, okay, yes. I could give you a lot of different wellness exercises you could do around this time of the year. A lot related to Mercury retrograde and related to doing introspection, reflection, looking back at the past year, evaluating that, and then goal planning and setting and making resolutions and making action plans and maps. But I don't want to take a lot of time in this video doing that. I do have a website for wellness coaching. If you're interested in that, that would be ourwellnessbydesign.com's website. You can message me and let me know, and I can work with you on an individual basis. And I may be putting out more videos in the future, giving little meditations or exercises, action plan, ways to do action plans, and things of that nature. Primarily, I wanted to share this one exercise that is pretty fresh and new that came to me that has to do with the 9-year cycle and that ending. So it's pretty simple. The way to do it is to just look back over the last 9 years. I'm sorry, I really should have water here. Look back over the last 9 years. Look to the last time it was a one universal year, and look at what was starting up in that one universal year that has been with you throughout these past 9 years. So what have the themes of the past 9 years been for you? What have the lessons been for you? What's been going on in your life? And from that, it's just very interesting to just do that and just kind of reflect on that and get an awareness of it. But from that, you can try to guess what this coming cycle is going to be about, or some of the themes related to it if you want to. You can look and see if there's been closure on some of these things, noticeable closure, or if that's yet to come. But it was rewarding for me to look at my progression of certain aspects of this. So for just as an example, to give you an example, one thing that came to me was veganism. So it was about 9 years ago that I first remember hearing the word vegan. So there is the start to it, right? And then it was a couple years after that before I tried to become vegan. And then I've gone through different stages since then where I did become vegan. I started eating vegan and I ate a very junk food vegan diet in the beginning, transitional foods, went through a detox period. There was a phase of educating myself and reading books and literature and taking courses and learning. Then there was a phase of starting my own business and starting reaching out and mentoring people who wanted to become vegan and doing vegan coaching. There's been learning to cook vegan food. There's been moving in and living with another vegan. There has been there's been more recently learning to live when my vegan household is taken away, when I'm in a situation where I'm living with other vegans in the house, and approaching that in the way I need to approach it, learning how I need to approach that. So it's been very interesting. That's not the only theme that I've noticed in the past 9 years. It's been very interesting looking at the themes in my life and the lessons and how the cycle has worked its way to this point. All right, so the other thing that's fun to do that I wanted to just throw out there is vision boards or energy boards, and I'm not going to talk too much about them. I've done that in past videos, and I may or may not address that this season. But again, if you want some help with wellness coaching or have questions, you can send me an email and let me know. I'd really like any feedback that you have about this video, or if you want to share what's going on with you. It's greatly appreciated. And I hope that you're sharing my excitement, and I hope we have a wonderful year ahead of us. I'm wishing you all well and a really happy new year. I hope this has been helpful. Until next time.